As you can see, I'm repping that BMT. No matter where I go, no matter where I be. We'll be rocking it like that, man. I love the fit of this shirt, bro.
Bro, look, I just happened to get out the elevator. Look at it. The BMT shirt on. You know, we representing all the way in Thailand, man.
What's up, y'all? It's the Travel OG, and I gotta do my BMT commercial, man, for my BMT shirt, man. This shirt is so dope, man. It shows off your guns, fits your muscles, gives you room at the bottom for the belly, and then you're repping the BMT brand, man. So make sure y'all pick up that BMT shirt, because it's fire. It looks good. He got them in different colors, and I'm telling y'all, man, the fit, it ain't that cheap. It's a real quality shirt, man. I love it, BMT. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for blessing me with the shirt. And I'll see you on the other side. You dig?
Fellas, don't forget to check out the Black Man Travels merch store where you can purchase BMT t-shirts, tank tops, travel quote tees, and much more.
As you can see, I'm repping that BMT. No matter where I go, no matter where I be. We'll be rocking it like that, man. I love the fit of this shirt, bro.
Bro, look, I just happened to get out the elevator. Look at it. The BMT shirt on. You know, we representing all the way in Thailand, man.
What's up, y'all? It's the Travel OG, and I gotta do my BMT commercial, man, for my BMT shirt, man. This shirt is so dope, man. It shows off your guns, fits your muscles, gives you room at the bottom for the belly, and then you're repping the BMT brand, man. So make sure y'all pick up that BMT shirt, because it's fire. It looks good. He got them in different colors, and I'm telling y'all, man, the fit, it ain't that cheap. It's a real quality shirt, man. I love it, BMT. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for blessing me with the shirt. And I'll see you on the other side. You dig?
Fellas, don't forget to check out the Black Man Travels merch store where you can purchase BMT t-shirts, tank tops, travel quote tees, and much more. All right, family. We are live. Guys, let me know if you can hear me right now. Let me know if you can hear me because I don't have any audio on my end for some reason. So let me know. Just put a 1 in the comment section. Let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear. and maybe we can go ahead and get this show started. Is my audio good? All right. Look like everybody can hear me. I don't know why I'm not getting the audio on my end for some reason. Let me try that again. All right. All right. All right. We live. We're going to go ahead and roll with it, man. We're going to roll with the punches. We got a good show for you guys today. I haven't did a Sunday rundown in quite some time. I should do shows Sunday evening weekly. So we're going to get that back started. We got a lot to talk about today. It's been a lot going on in the travel community. I haven't done a show on safety overseas in quite some time. I should do shows all the time, giving guys information on about how to move overseas and, you know, how different countries have different ways to kind of, you know, move and navigate basically. And it's been a lot going on. A lot of people have been emailing me, hey, you know, do a show about safety. You know, guys are going all throughout Latin America thinking it's sweet. So I'm doing this show today, but we're going to talk about some other things as well. As far as the situation that happened in Mexico with the Americans. We're definitely going to discuss that. All right. QB passport flexing, bro. I'm glad you in the chat. If you're able to come on and talk about it, because I know you're pretty much familiar with Mexico. I have not been to Mexico. I've been to Colombia and Brazil, but I have not been to Mexico, man. So if you can come on a little later, let's say about 30 minutes, once I pull through everything, we can chop it up. And we can also, I don't know why, guys. I don't know why, you know, but these dating coaches, they still throwing shots over there in they whatever market they in. So they still throwing shots. I'm going to do a little response to, you know, not too much, but I'm going to do a little response to one of the dating coaches as well that threw a shot. Shout out to my dude, O'Shea Dude Jackson. I don't know why we can't all get along. We don't really come for them. But I think, like I said before, we're taking a little bit of their market share by telling guys to get their passports. And the Passport Bros ideology is growing every day. All right. So much so, we have approached over 17,000 members in our private Facebook group. Let me go ahead and remove that real quick for the fam. Hold on. We are at 17,000. It's at 15,000 on the screenshot, but we are well over 17,000 in the private Facebook group Passport Bros, man. So we're letting in about 200 daily. All right. We look up, it's about 400 waiting to get into it. Now there are some little fake groups out here, guys. So I want to, you know, give you a warning because people are hitting me up like, hey man, why you improve my post? Or I'm in a group. So we do got some, you know, some copycats out here. It's another screenshot. This is when, just to let you know some of the growth. We was at 6,200 members a mere maybe about 3 months ago. But now we are well over 17,000. So if you haven't already joined, make sure to join the private Facebook group. And like I said before, we got a couple of copycats out there. They might put Passport Bros and put like a little thing at the end, a dot or something. That is not the official Passport Bros Facebook group. That's a copycat. A lot of guys are going to that group thinking it's our group. We don't know how they run that group. I tried to talk to the owner. He blocked me and whatnot because, you know, you know how guys are. All right. You say, hey man, people thinking that, you know, they're joining our group because you know, pretty much manipulated people to thinking that it's our group, you know, but it's only one official group. That's the Passport Bros group. All right. So shout out to all the members in the private Facebook group. All right, let me go through the chat. We got Global Passport crew in the building. What up, Global Passport? We got my dude Yoga in the building. Shout out to Yoga, man. Shout out to you, bro. Haven't heard from you in a while. We got Melvin Riddle in the building. All right, we got a few people in here, 73 in the room. We got a few people. All right. Say a lot of new members are haters in disguise. Yeah, man. You know, it is what it is. It comes with the growth. But like I said, once we you know, do a profile on them, see what they've been commenting on, see some of their posts, we gonna get them up out of there. As a matter of fact, at this point, we have denied over 6,000 people coming in the group, and we have about maybe another 400 blocked and removed from the group. So we do our due diligence. We got about 5 guys working within the group. Eventually, we're going to transition into the mobile app as well. Excuse me. So that's going to make it a whole lot easier because that'll be our actual platform, So we working. All right. Shout out to MZG, my boy BMT. That's Malcolm. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. We just hit Bangkok. Check that video out. I did a video vol 48 hours in Bangkok. Make sure you guys check that out. All right. I see y'all in the chat. All right. So earlier this week, I had a brother by the name of Jay Rello on the show. It was a pretty good show. It was very entertaining. Some people was like, hey, why'd you bring him on the platform? I had to give people a chance to explain themselves. All right. This is, at the end of the day, this is media. All right. People want to be entertained. They want to be informed. And I did bring him on the show. It was a pretty good show. I think it's like 7,000 to 8,000 views at this point. Whether he was being genuine with the talking points, that's neither here or there. I just wanted him to explain what his thought process was as far as running out of money or raising money and going overseas with a limited budget. A lot of things he said I didn't necessarily agree with, but I think it was a balanced panel. The thing is, guys, right now, there is a high demand for people obtaining their passports. And when that comes, it's going to be all different types of personality types. People are traveling for different reasons, male and female. I mean, passport are on back order right now. I wanted to show a stat, but I couldn't find it. But from 2015 to now to like 2021 or 2022, rather, it's been a high demand of passports. People of all ethnicities, of all genders, male and female, are trying to find a better lifestyle for the most part, or just leave the States for temporarily for some peace. All right. So it's a lot of reasons why people are traveling more. But as people travel more, you're going to get all types of different personality traits, types. All right. So I know guys are trying to shake this Pookieism type narrative because we don't really control our media in America. And unfortunately, we haven't been gotten a fair shake. They try to cast us out as, one thing, but we're very different. You got different types of black men. You got men that are, more liberal, men that are conservative, men that's not on that hood stuff at all, got clean cut. You got all types of different types of personality traits. And that's one of the things that I've learned about being here in Thailand. It's kind of opened me up by seeing different cultures and seeing that, hey, man, you got dusty people of all cultures, basically. All right. There's no escape from that. There is not one ethnicity or one culture of people that's just have it all the way together. Right. And I think that when you bring a Jay Rello on or somebody like that, people think, like, oh, man, it's making us all look bad. No, not necessarily. That's what he's doing. All right. That's what he decided to do. He never even claimed to be a passport bro. Remember, passport bros is a community of men with a similar ideology as far as traveling and expanding their options overseas, leveraging the American dollar. That's the definition of what I would like passport bros to be. But as you guys can tell, you got all types of, like this little genders, fake on fake gender war that we got going on. That's what you're going to see if you was to search or Google the passport bros right now. All right. So I'm gonna give you comments in a minute. Shout out to Richard S for the super chat. I'm gonna catch that in a second. But like I say, people are traveling for different reasons. Passport bros is an ideology. You cannot stop somebody from claiming to be a passport bro. Now, if anything negative happens to anybody overseas who's a male, they will be seen as a passport bro because of the popularity of the ideology for the most part. All right. That's why people put it in their hashtags. It's basically to get views at the end of the day. It's basically to get views. All right. But that's what comes with it, with a popular ideology that's growing. I think that's why we're getting so much hate from the PUA and the dating coaches as well. All right, let me catch the super chat, man. And we're going to go ahead and get to the topic at hand. Shout out to Richard S with this $5 super chat. I think that's the Canadian dollar. I really appreciate that. He said, don't trust Latinas, see through their false facade. I have many stories. You know what? It's funny, man, because I lived in Colombia for almost tapping on a year, and it was one of the best experiences I had in my life. A lot of things did happen in Colombia. There was a lot of unfortunate situations out there. You definitely have to move a certain way. There is no way to just be 100% safe because you're a human. I mean, people make mistakes. I mean, sometimes they do target tourists all throughout Latin America, and we're going to get to that in a second. The best thing to do is to limit your exposure, not necessarily not going out, but just try to limit the possibilities of somebody targeting you. That's the best option you have. Somebody said if you want to go to Latin America, go to DR first. That's why I went first. I went to DR first. All right. D_VW asks, would an app require a passport verification for access? It should. Yes, we are working on that. You will have to show your ID, your passport, to be able to get on the app. Either a passport or some type of form of state ID. That is definitely true. All right. So we're definitely working on that. All right. Somebody says Mexico is a no-go. Brazil is 50-50. All right. So let me go ahead and play this clip for you guys. And I want to go ahead. Somebody said Jay Rello for president of the Passport Bros. Let me play this clip real quick, man. Hopefully I can hear it.
With breaking news, these four Americans.
I still don't have no audio. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio. I don't know what's going on with my audio right now, but let me know. Fair use, YouTube, fair use. I'm going to play this quick clip. I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar about what happened in Mexico, unfortunately, with the Americans, the African Americans. All right, let me go ahead and play this.
We begin our 8 o'clock hour with breaking news. These four Americans abducted in broad daylight in Mexico have been found. Sadly, two of them are dead. One was wounded. One person was unharmed. It's not clear where or how they were found. The group was kidnapped Friday at gunpoint after they traveled to Matamoros across the border from Brownsville, Texas. Based on receipts, the FBI says one of the Americans went to Mexico for a medical procedure. They've been identified as Zindell Brown, Eric James Williams, and cousins Latavia Tay McGee and Shaheed Woodard. They were all from South Carolina. Authorities believe a Mexican cartel likely mistook them for Haitian drug smugglers.
All right. Did you guys hear the audio in that? I don't know why I'm not getting no audio. Did you guys hear the story about what happened? Somebody said they was mistaken for Haitians. That's a possibility. They did end up turning the guys in that did that. The Gulf, I think it was called the Gulf Cartel or something like that. End up turning the guys in. Okay, so everybody heard it. Cool. So let me show you something real quick. All right. Now, I don't know those particular people background. I don't know if they were well traveled or not, or how familiar they were with Mexico. What we have here is the travel risk map right here. All right. I want to show you guys something real quick. All right. Let me start with here. I actually want to say that toward the end. All right. Now, this is travelriskmap.com. This is 2023. And what this basically is will show you violent crime rates, political unrest, political violence, terrorism, all this good stuff will be on this website. And they pretty much update it pretty frequently. All right. They update it pretty frequently. This is a good map for reference. I suggest you guys do your thorough research when traveling anywhere in the world, because you don't want to get caught up in the wrong situation overseas. Being an American citizen does have a lot of its benefits. You can always reach out to the embassy if you get locked up or anything that happens. But I would avoid risque areas at all costs in general. All right. Now, as you can see, Thailand right now is color coordinated. So you got green, which is almost probably not a lot, but very small amount of nonviolent crimes, right? In any society, you're going to have some form of crime, no matter where you are. Even in the richest societies, you'll have a form of crime. But as you can see in the map, most of the green areas, Northern Europe, I think that's Greenland up there. Now, the yellow is where America is pretty much. We know America definitely has crime. We understand that it has crime. But the violent crime rates stat-wise is relatively low in comparisons to other countries around the world. All right. Now we have orange. We got red and we got dark red, which is on a level of extreme. Now, Thailand's yellow. Thailand is, for the most part, pretty safe. They have its, crime as well. But the violent crime in general, at least toward foreigners, is relatively low. Somebody says, I always check travel advisories from the State Department before traveling. Yeah, you can do that too. I got the map on travelriskmap.com. All right. So let's go over to Medellin, Colombia. As you can see, Medellin, Colombia is a security risk. It's medium. All right. Periodic political unrest. This is very true. You definitely have violent protests. They were protesting down there when I was there. Sporadic acts of terrorism. Yes, that's true as well. This is pretty accurate. And they do have violent crime. All right. So this is, like I said, this is color coordinated. That's Medellin, Colombia, guys. This is something you want to definitely look at. It can be very dangerous. All right. It can be dangerous. All right. All right. Let's go to another country. Another city. We got Cartagena right here. All right. Now, I've been told that I think Cartagena came in as more dangerous this year or last year, more incidents of violence in Cartagena than Medellin. And that was a big debate maybe a few years ago. That was a big debate. Which one is safer? A lot of people said Cartagena was a little bit more safer than Medellin. Some of my friends in Medellin said no way possible. Medellin is more safer than Cartagena. That's neither here or there. Both places can be dangerous, all right? I've heard incidents happening in Cartagena as well as in Medellin. So just be mindful of that. You just got, I'm not going to say it's no way around it, but you definitely got to limit your exposure. You have to know what neighborhoods you guys are going in, especially if it involves cameras or trying to do YouTube or something like that. I had an incident myself downtown Medellin in Centro. They said I was filming with my cell phone, had some Venezuelans run up on me. So you just got to be careful, man. I know guys want to get content. I know guys think it's cool to be in the hood overseas. Listen, man, it can be very dangerous. They don't know who you are. All right. It's going to be very hard to track them down if something does happen to you. We did have a brother lose his life. I believe it was in Peru, walking in their own neighborhood. So guys, just be careful. All right. Now, this is Rio de Janeiro. This is Brazil. As you can see, it's a medium. Honestly, I felt a little more safer in Rio than I did in Colombia. I'm just being honest. They got police everywhere, and they have a lot of roadblocks. And these guys have AKs, assault rifles, M16s, all that stuff. And it's about 20 of them on the block. They're walking everywhere, and crime still occurs. All right, but generally speaking, I walked around that night. Me and my boys, we walked around Rio de Janeiro 4-5 in the morning. It wasn't even too many people out on the streets like that, from what I could tell, from what I saw. I did have one little incident where somebody tried to pickpocket me, whatnot. I think I told that story in the Facebook group or something. But other than that, to me, I felt relatively safe, especially in the area of Barra da Tijuca, where things at night pretty much, and it's more spread out too. You kind of need a car to kind of get around Barra da Tijuca. That's like 20 minutes west of Copacabana. So at night, you can be walking around. You can be walking around the beach. You got police out there. It felt pretty safe from what I could tell. But let's go over to Matamoros, Mexico. All right, Matamoros, Mexico. As you guys can see, it has a very high risk where they went. And they basically, in my opinion, I feel like they just got caught up. Wrong place, wrong time. Guys know how the streets function. Shoot first, ask questions later. Maybe they thought it was Haitian drug dealers. I'm not sure what the issue was. They do have Black people in Mexico, a pretty sizable population. Maybe it was mistaken identity. I don't know, but it was very unfortunate. Somebody should have told them that wasn't the right move. That wasn't the right area to go to. right? I know it's right across the border from Texas. I understand all that, but it's not Texas. All right. And unfortunately, that situation happened. The American government stepped in. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with Mexico. So I'm wondering, hopefully QB Willie B can come on the show and maybe give us more education on, the safety issues out there in Mexico. I know I've heard a lot of stories of, incidents in Mexico as far as, people shaking you down, all that good stuff. So we will see. QB, do you want to come on? Do you want to come on real quick? Because like I said, I'm not really familiar with Mexico like that. Somebody said they had no business being there. All right. So Juju says it was a mistaken identity. It was a case of mistaken identity. The cartel turned the shooters over to the police. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Somebody said they have no business being there. All right. Derek Mitchell makes a very good comment. He says, if you're not a pro YouTuber with OGs in the area, don't walk around in public recording with your cell phone out, which is very, very true. That's very true. You definitely want to be with somebody, even if you're doing, like, let's just say a barrio tour or a favela tour or something. They'll tell you when to put your cameras down. You're going to walk through certain areas where people don't want to be recorded for whatever reason. So if you are doing that, that's the best. That's the best advice right there. Like what that comment is on the screen. That's generally speaking, that's the best advice. There's nothing wrong with getting a tour guide, guys. I know guys want to just pull up. I saw a video of some guys in Central. I think they was recording down there. They thought it was sweet. I'm like, man, you just got to be, like, what's the point? You're not from there. You're not from there, man. They don't look at you as you from there either. All right, so I'm going to drop a link. If you want to come on, QB, maybe you can explain to us what's going on in Mexico, because he's saying that it's relatively safe, but we will see. We will see. Yeah, it's very important to learn Spanish or Portuguese. It can literally save your life. It can literally save your life. All right. Let's drop the link. Somebody said, he said, I speak Spanish and Tagalog. Okay. Shout out to Moochie T, says, mistaken identity or not, driving a car with foreign plates, not even from a border state like Texas or California, was a huge mistake. All right. Hopefully I can hear you, bro. Hold on. Let me see if I can hear you.
Yo, what's cracking? Am I coming in okay?
Yep, I still don't have no audio. You might have to.
Oh, BMT, no. Yeah, no audio?
I don't know why I don't have any audio. Let me see what's going on with this audio, fam.
I can hear you perfect.
Audio. Test. Let me try that.
Okay. 1-1, mic check.
I think the audience can hear you, but I can't hear you for some reason, man. I don't know what's going on with my audio. He would say he can hear me perfectly.
Yeah, I can hear you coming in clear, and the audience can hear me. The audience is saying they can hear both of us.
Let me see what's going on.
Okay.
That's the mic volume.
I know I'm coming in loud and clear, so.
Let me try something real quick. Let me try to.
All right. If you guys can hear me, put a 1 in the chat, and I'll kind of discuss Matamoros and the recent situation in Mexico. Okay, Tobias is a 1. Let me get one more 1 so I can confirm. Okay, all you guys said one. All right. I might do a video on this as well to go further in depth, but let me just say one thing. The border towns in Mexico, specifically Matamoros, Nuevo Laredo, Juarez, which is El Paso border, those are places you guys should not visit, okay? Unless you're passing through, and even then, also Reynosa border town. So pretty much all the Texas border towns, I would recommend you guys not visiting unless you're passing through, like going to another place in Mexico. The safe border towns is Tijuana, Mexicali, and I will also throw in Nogales, even though which is the Arizona border. I haven't been to that town, but I've never had an issue in Mexicali nor Tijuana. Now, the reason why I can speak on Matamoros and Nuevo Laredo, which is the Laredo border town, and Juarez, I've been in those places as well. First, we can start off with Juarez, which is the El Paso border. It is very, very dark at night. It is literally going back into the Wild West, okay? You will see dirt roads. You will see a lot of like bob wires and stuff. I was on my way to Chihuahua, and I took an Uber and stayed in Juarez for one night. But as soon as I crossed, I took the Uber. Okay, I didn't take a taxi. I didn't take any other transportation. The hotel was, I think, about 15 minutes in Juarez. And then the next day, I got to the bus station and head south to Chihuahua. Because driving through Juarez, I had no interest in wanting to see what's out there, okay? In terms of activities, a bar, a restaurant. I said, look, get me to the hotel. I'm going to hit the bus and get to Chihuahua, which is very, very nice. Chihuahua's like Denver. But let's get to Matamoros, and I wish I could share the screen to like show you guys exactly where it's at. But Matamoros, it's on the southernmost side of Texas. Okay, you have the Rio Grande Valley, which is pretty much Brownsville, Edinburgh, McAllen, South Padre Island. So when people go there, they mainly go to South Padre Island, which is like the spring break hotspot. A lot of girls, a lot of wild stuff. It is nonstop, good vibes over there. Every now and then, people will go to Matamoros to have a quick drink, or I think you can legally buy alcohol in Matamoros. Texas has this different law compared to California, but you can buy alcohol there, and you just have to pay like a 1% tax. So a lot of the spring breakers, instead of filling up in South Padre Island, they'll just go to Matamoros, get the cheap cerveza beers and stuff, and they'll go right back, to South Padre to go party. And then also families go down there for medicine and relatives, all that other good stuff. But these group of people, okay, that went down there for a BBL, okay, for one, I don't know if you guys know, but I recently got a hair transplant in Tijuana, okay? And I did that because I had a homie that got a hair transplant in Tijuana as well. I'm very familiar with Tijuana. I know if I cross the border, the doctor's office is literally less than 10 minutes away. And this situation, the girl, they had it reading the news that she was in Matamoros for 2 hours trying to find the doctor that's going to perform the surgery on her on the BBL, okay, or the tummy tuck. 2 hours, one in around the city, okay? So I question that. Also, we haven't found any information in regards to the actual appointment with the doctor that was going to perform the surgery on her. We don't have those facts yet. So right now that's still under speculation. Medical tourism is a business many Black people don't know about. Yes, it's a really good opportunity for people to travel to safe places for medical procedures. A hospital in Bangkok is world class. Awesome. I also want to add to that, a lot of people go to Mexico, hair transplant, BBL, and the places that they're going to are Tijuana, Mexicali, Cancun, Cabo, Mexico City, Guadalajara, Monterrey, okay? And usually there's a package, okay? There's a package to where you stay in a hotel. Also, we'll give you food service as part of the package. They didn't have that as well. That was pretty odd, okay? So you're in 2 hours into Matamoros, which, by the way, Matamoros is almost like a third world country type city. There is nothing there. There is no landmark there. There is no beach there. They have a beach called Playa Baghdad or whatever, but that's 20 miles out. There's really no museums. There is nothing there to do. You will never hear me saying, hey, I'm going to fly to Matamoros. There's nothing there, okay? Besides it being a port of entry to the United States. That's literally it. And that goes for Juarez, Nuevo Laredo, and all the other, Reynosa, all the other Texas border towns. So there's nothing there. You're running around in the city for 2 hours, okay? There's nothing confirmed with the actual doctor. There is a lot to speculate there. And then what also was, which was very shocking, the fifth person did not go into Mexico because lack of ID, okay? When you enter into Mexico, from what I personally experienced, okay, Border Patrol in Mexico is the Immigration Service, I believe is IMM or something, or IMS. When you drive in, they normally do not stop every car because you have thousands of cars crossing in there. The traffic would be ludicrous, okay? So you could have crossed that border with that fifth person in there. And then you said it's only going to take 15 minutes. It takes about a good hour minimum from the time that they went to cross back into Brownsville, a minimum of 1 to 2 hours, okay? So there's no way you can drive into Matamoros and then 15 minutes is over, cross right back to Brownsville without at least spending an hour waiting in the line. So that's another question mark. Of course, you got 3 guys, okay? Now, do they have passports? Have the news said, hey, these guys have passports, okay? It's one thing if it was in Cancun and they said, look, we want to turn up over there in Cancun. We want to go to this park and do some type of excursion. And we're going to be with you for the BBL. We're going to be on a resort where after your surgery, you can be there for a week. And we're going to be there with you to make sure you're okay. There's no resort in Matamoros, okay? The best hotel probably there is a Motel 6 for, I don't know, maybe 50 a night, 60 a night. What's good, Bam? Are you in?
I'm back, bro. I'm back.
Oh, okay.
We rolling.
Okay.
I had to switch browsers. I don't know what happened with that.
Okay, no problem.
Appreciate you. Appreciate that, bro. Take it over for a little minute. While I got my stuff together.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So I was basically telling the audience, and you can ask me any questions. The whole places to avoid in Mexico in terms of border towns, I mentioned Juarez, that's a no-go zone. Okay. And you guys might want to write this down. Nuevo Laredo, no-go zone. Do not go there. Reynosa, that's another no-go. And then Matamoros. So those 4 border towns that are on the Texas border, Texas-Mexico border is a no-go. Tijuana, Mexicali, and I mentioned Nogales is okay. Thumbs up over there. And then also I was explaining that there's literally nothing to do or see in these towns. If you go to Matamoros, normally you're crossing a Matamoros to go to Monterrey, or you might go to Tampico, which is further down in Tamaulipas, okay? People do not vacation in Juarez, Reynosa, Matamoros. There is nothing there, bro. They ain't got, the Mango Club is not there. They don't have a regular club. Nothing whatsoever. So you're literally asking, I'm going here because I'm expecting trouble. I tell guys, when I cross from Juarez and Nuevo Laredo, I'm passing through. Juarez, I'm going to Chihuahua. Nuevo Laredo, I'm going to Monterrey. And the same thing for Matamoros. And then I was also mentioning the only other reason why people go to Matamoros for doctor and health services or medical services is to get cheap liquor. So Sao Padre Island is close to Matamoros. So all the spring breakers, they will say, hey, we're going to go down here to Matamoros to get the cheap beer and cross that over to, back to Sao Padre Island. That's it. That's it. They don't party there. There's no resort there. They don't shop there. It ain't like there's an outlet. There's no outlet there. You have no reason to be there. But go ahead, DMT.
Now, I heard you mentioning, you said they were driving around for 2 hours looking for the doctor?
Yes, 2 hours. There's new film, and then there's also another video. And I might cover this on my channel. There is another video where the guy says, y'all don't know what it's like to be in Mexico. We in Mexico. I'm paraphrasing that he's probably been there before. Okay. And there was nothing mentioning of them having passports. Okay. So yes, they drove around 2 hours before, the cartels met them and that unfortunate event happened. But driving around 2 hours in Matamoros, cruising, for what? If I'm lost, if I'm crossing Mexico, especially for the first time to a town that I've never been, where is this place? After 10 minutes, I'm blowing the doctor's phone up. If not, if I can't get to you or you can't meet me within 10 to 15 minutes, I'm crossing my ass right back to that border. And I'm like, deuces.
So what do you think happened in your opinion?
In my opinion, I think they were there for other reasons. I think that, yes, when it comes to the cartels, it's not just drug related. They're literally like a mafia. They have businesses and operations and other sectors, okay? So I think maybe it was a setup. Shorty said, hey, you can meet this dude, you can pick this up, all right? And then we cross back, but we'll have proof that I was there for a BBL so they don't search us. That's what the cover-up is, in my opinion. Again, this is all speculation, but it doesn't look good when they told old girl we'll be back in 15 minutes and that she didn't cross as well, and she only knew about them going into Mexico until they got to Brownsville. That's crazy.
So what you think what happened on the cartel part? You think they thought they was rival drug dealers? You think they were just thinking that they was looking around, looking to get information about where people were at or something?
That I'm kind of still questioning. It could be a situation where uh, they might have owed somebody money, or they're trying to they didn't have enough money to get whatever, and so they're trying to leave with something. I mean, you're there for 2 hours, so I'm thinking that they probably met somebody, and they probably said, "Oh, we're going to go to the bank or something and get the rest of the money," and it wasn't going down like that. I don't think they were mistaken for identity. I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Now, have you heard from, because you've been to Mexico, you go to Mexico, have you personally had any incidents, or do you know anybody that had any incidents with the cartels or anything like that?
Right.
You don't gotta give specific names or nothing like that.
Right. Me personally, I've never had an issue in regards to safety with the cartels in that aspect. Yes. Have I been shooken down in Tijuana a couple of times by the police? Yes. And then last year, and this was my fault, I was in an Uber on the way to Rosarito, and let's just say this was a seltzer, a Mexican seltzer. I was in the back of the Uber. The window was rolled down. I opened this. The police was on the bike right there. So he caught your boy. And I'm ready to go down there. And by the way, Rosarito's lit right now. Little John, and I think Quavo's going to be there next weekend. So I'm just letting you guys know on the side note. So I said, you know what? He can write me the ticket because I know the game over there. Okay. So basically, if you get pulled over by the police, they will threaten you with a bribe or they'll give you a citation. Okay. But when you go to the citation, they got to do the paperwork and all this other stuff. And then you're looking.
The manosphere is one of the most diverse communities.
My bad. Go ahead, bro. My bad.
Yeah, no worries. The citation is probably going to be maybe less than 200 pesos, which is about $10. Okay. So I just gave him basically $30 and say, look, I'm not trying to go and fill out all the paperwork. We're trying to go to this event. Here you go. That's my fault. Okay. And something related to the cartels, I think I might have mentioned this story, but I'll mention it again. I was in a nightclub in Guadalajara, and one of the cartel member, they were like 2 tables next to me, and I didn't even know he was a member, but the guy ended up paying my tab. I'm just like, wow, he got me a bottle. I didn't ask for it. The girl that gave me the bottle, she was like, oh, it came from them. And so he seen that I had like a Travis Scott shirt or whatever. He was like, yo, I like the rapper. And then he mentioned, he was like, hey, it's on us. Don't worry. I'm like, hey, what do you do? He was like, man, I really can't tell you, but just know CJNG, which is basically the Jalisco cartel.
Whoa.
Okay. All right. My bad.
We ain't doing that yet.
The fun club, basically, over there.
Okay.
So I didn't know that they were a part of that. But again, that was my only experience. And like I said, paid for my tab. But he also told me that, hey, when it comes to Americans, we don't harm American people because I look at you as the guy that is going to the hotel that is going to tip well because my tia, my aunt, works there. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So he was really breaking it down. He was all like, because of you guys travel to our country, you guys, the restaurants, the food, the tourism, the beaches, we understand that we have to have a good relationship with Americans. Okay. If they're Americans endangered or, being deleted and stuff, that's bad for us because we have investment in these sectors.
Exactly.
Me knowing this, not just from them, but from other Mexican people that I know as well, lets me to believe that the probability they were there for other reasons.
Okay. I want to catch this super chat by Run87 with $10 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, why would she leave her 6 children for cosmetic surgery? Maybe it's just me, but that's odd. All right.
Yes. And by looking at her, I'm not trying to diss the sister, but it looks like she needs a lot more than just some cosmetic surgery. Okay.
Come on, man. All right. Well, we're gonna make a little transition. I know you spoke on it for quite some time. I really appreciate you holding the show down while I got my little technical situation together. Right. I want to play something for you, bro. Well, I got you here. Because you know how we started this, a couple of years ago? You know, yes. I want to play something from one of your homies, one of your peoples. Hold on, let me put it up. Let me pull it up real quick. I think I got it queued up. Hold on.
Each other, it sparked the conversation when you saw something of Mr. Lucario taking somewhat of a dig at Passport Bros by releasing this particular clip.
The only reason a man is begging for a relationship is because he ain't got no. You understand what I'm saying? So essentially, when you're telling a woman, hey, I want you to be my girl, whatever, you're communicating to her that you ain't got no women, that you're thirsty for a relationship, and then therefore you are automatically unattractive. It's just like who trick. If you're able to get, you don't need to pay for the. You understand? See, if people are giving out free bottles of water, you just take the water. But when you go into a convenience store, you pay for the water. Why? Because the water ain't free. But when the water's free, you just take it. You understand? But when the water ain't free, you got to pay. So the same thing with tricks. Ain't free for them. They got to pay. You understand? All these passport bros and all that other shit, them niggas got to pay because they can't get for free.
Now,
that's your boy right there. What's your thoughts on that?
Right. So first of all, we have options, okay? I hate that whole water analogy because he's saying that it's free, and if it's free, you take it, and for us, we have to pay. Well, no, that's not true. We don't have to pay, okay? We have the option to go to certain countries that we desire and interact with the women that find us attractive. Simple as that. But for him to run the narrative that all passport bros are paying and shrinking is not true. Mm-hmm. And he's only saying that, okay, because he doesn't have the ability like passport bros have to travel to other countries and date other women in various countries as we desire and choose to. He has to promote game and tell guys, oh, well, if you have to go travel, then you don't have the abundance mindset, which is very disingenuous. But to make it worse, okay, Lucario signed the contract to have an open relationship with a post-wall woman. That makes no sense to me at all. Mm-hmm. And you're shaming passport bros. But yet you signed the marriage contract to be with that woman in an open relationship. Make it make sense.
You know what's funny, man? Because they're always throwing shots. Now not only did he do that video, he did a live with all the dating coaches. They were throwing shots then. I didn't respond or anything like that. But what's funny to me is when he's on a panel, he's on a show, and I try to tap in, he always tells the host of the show to not let BMT on. And I'm sitting here like, bro, let's have a dialogue, bro. You know, shout out to Kings of Dreams. He has a great channel. Check his channel out. Also check out QB's channel as well.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, do you notice? I'm like, bro, let's have a dialogue. Like, I'll give you a prime example. I was on the Anton Daniels, the Millionaire Morning Show. I don't know if you saw that interview. I was on his show earlier this week. Now, Anton has made some disparaging statements towards Passport Bros ideology because he really didn't understand it. And when I went on this show, there was no prep at all. Like sometimes you do interviews, you might give a guy a prep and say what you're going to run down, what topics you're going to discuss. But on this particular show, it was no prep. He just like, hey man, I'm gonna let you on at this time. You know, he gave me an email, kind of somewhat at the last minute, confirm the interview. And I said, all right, I didn't know what to expect, but I don't have nothing to hide at the end of the day. And we did a good interview, and he asked some important questions that's been going around because we know most people's introduction to the passport bro ideology is going to be negative because they're seeing the gender war, they're going back and forth, and they say, oh, they do this, they do that. Even though there are no recorded incidents that I know of men participating in, let's say, illegal activities overseas. That's a lot of projection, right? To disparage, you know, guys from traveling or whatnot. I appreciate Anton for letting me come on his show and just give him, it's like, hey man, it's not like this. This is what we're about. We're about becoming global citizens, leveraging our American dollar and taking advantage of business opportunities overseas and rebuilding our somewhat not broken relationships, but we all know that some of us have trust issues amongst each other. But you know, when you go overseas, it's like, oh, this guy from Cali, this guy from New York, this guy from Louisiana, this guy's 65, this guy 23, this guy 30, but we're all getting along well.
Right. Yes, you're absolutely right. I think it's a threat to him, his channel, him promoting his products, the Bad Boy membership. And I don't know if you saw this recently, which I'm going to do a response video, whether he takes it down or not. He cold approached in Miami and was 0 for 10. Donut, bro. Donut. I will break that down on my channel. And it's like, boom. The proof is in. This does not work. Okay. Now, if you're going to shame Passport Bros and say that we need game overseas, which is not true, then you need to fly overseas, show us that you need the game, get the girl, and not go from 0 for 10, and then make a video saying that Passport Bros need game. But until then, you can't speak any negativity about us. And as for you, you just want to have a dialogue. You're not there to basically, cuss them out or anything like that. You just want to have a dialogue with them on a mutual platform. And so it's showing that he's being a coward, that, man, he can't even have a dialogue with BMT in regards to Passport Bros and men traveling.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. I want to give a shout out to Richard S. with the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. He says, whenever I travel, it's my priority to not have to pay. Shout out to Richard S. I really appreciate that, bro. I want to give a shout out to Carbon Snell 01 with the $5 super chat. He says, what up, bros? Peace and blessings. QB Willie B, you need to be more active on YouTube like you were a couple of years back. What's going on, bro? What's up with your channel?
Yeah, well, I think he's misguiding that a little bit, because I was on here before I had a channel, but I'm very active on my channel. Like, I haven't done a live stream probably within, 10 days. But I recently put a video on Ecuador, but I'm going to at least try to stream once a week on the minimum. But I am very active on my channel, so just to clear that up.
Okay, excellent. And I think another thing, man, like when you see, the Passport Bros, a lot of us are actually filming like vlog style content. Shout out to Travelversity, shout out to Austin Holloman. We're actually showing guys receipts of our lifestyle, and of us, going, exploring a different culture, learning different things, taking different classes. I think Austin did a Muay Thai class when he was out here. I showed a really cool floating market in my last vlog, floating market in Bangkok. Like, we're just showing different receipts, and we don't really see that from them per se, the dating coaches, the PUA coaches. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you saw this show I did maybe a couple of weeks ago. One of those dating coaches by the name of Casey that was featured on Fresh and Fit, he actually got caught up in Medellin.
Yes.
He got caught up in Medellin.
About that. Yes.
And they put I think it was the Minister of Tourism put out a $20,000 US warrant to know about his whereabouts, because what he was basically doing Yeah, what he was basically doing was he was throwing these parties, and guys would pay $5,000 to meet these women in Medellin, Colombia. Now these
Right.
women were part of a lifestyle, but they wasn't telling the guys that. So right there,
Yes.
that's what you call manipulation. He's utilizing these guys to pay all this money to meet a good woman, and they're meeting women that's in the lifestyle. And one of those same women went and reported him, and they started looking for him because we know to try to monetize the women in Colombia is illegal. You can't be participating in that in Colombia. You can't be on that side of the ball, basically. That's a form of pimping, basically. And one of the girls pretty much ratted him out. He left Colombia and he went to Brazil. I think he took out on his website. It was him and another guy. I forgot the other guy's name, but it was
Coach Patrick Red. Yes.
Right.
The other
That's
guy
his
is
name.
Coach Patrick Red. Mm-hmm.
So they went ahead and they left, right? I think they're in Brazil or something now, or something like that. But this is the type of manipulation that we're talking about, these dating coaches, right? This type of manipulation that they're doing. You do not need game overseas, man. All right. You just got to be yourself. Have your stuff together, have your resources together. And, you know, you have a lot of value off rip. The biggest thing you want to do is pretty much learn the language.
Yeah, learn the language.
And the culture.
Okay? And the culture. And understand that overseas, there's a lot of events. There's, you know, the Mardi Gras, certain parades, activities where guys can meet women in these areas. And then you become friends with the locals. And so it just multiplies, okay? What they were doing, they were basically holding like boot camps where you pay me $5,000, $10,000, and they will basically do a private party. For instance, and I'm going to make a video about this on my channel soon because, you know, I roasted dating coaches as well. They basically run ads on these parties, like an Instagram ad, and these girls will be like, oh my gosh, this is cool. I want to be on the yacht or whatever.
Right.
And David Bond did this in Nicaragua, and he got robbed. He got robbed. If you go look at his channel, he got robbed over there. They stole some camera equipment, a debit card, and I think $500. So if you're leading with status, you're making yourself a target in these foreign countries. So having this elegant party, inviting these girls, hey, there's going to be free food, drinks, etc. You know, whatever else may be over there. You're basically portraying that, hey, this is a wealthy man in America, a wealthy American man, and this guy doesn't know if this woman is genuine or not genuine. So that really puts you in a bad situation with these dating coaches that are promoting that you need game overseas.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I want to give a shout out to the Art of Will with $9.99 super chat. I really appreciate that. He said Lucario's wife. I can't read that, bro. But shout out to you for the Art of Will. I appreciate that super chat, bro. Appreciate that. I gotta keep it clean out here on YouTube. Shout out to my dude Delno Music with the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. He says, wherever there's success, there are haters. Keep on living your life on your own terms. Find happiness and travel.
Right.
You know, let me ask you this, man. Did you see this ideology or this community blowing up the way it did when we first started in, I believe, I know it ain't been that long. What was it, 2019?
I think it was either 2019 or 2018.
Right.
But honestly, bro, no, man. I didn't think it would get this big on this level. But here's one thing that guys have to realize. We are in a sexual inflation here in the United States, but now dating is global now. With social media and the Tinder apps, dating is now global, okay? So as a passport bro, you still have an advantage with these apps and you having a passport traveling to these other countries. So if you know the average cost of a date, especially here in California, $250, and you can date someone that's just as pretty, that's going to get with your program, where there's less competition, Why go somewhere and have that advantage? I don't understand that.
Now,
You could. Mhm.
is it safe to do online dating in Mexico? Can you like rock out on Tinder, or do you have to kind of
Oh,
worry?
no, you can rock out on Tinder all day. One thing that I haven't really mentioned yet, I mean, I did the whole dating live stream in Mexico. Uh, Women, depending on the city, the women that you meet on these dating apps are women that are pretty much upper middle class, okay, to be able to afford the app as well. College women, and some of these girls actually have passports as well and that can speak English. Terms of like, and I gotta be honest, the whole scope of meaning in Colombia, that's not so much of an issue compared to Mexico. So
Okay.
yes, yes, yes,
So
and that's why.
that's more of a South America thing then, because when you say Latin America, that's like Mexico, pretty much all the way down, but that pretty much
Yes,
stops there. Okay.
yeah, and like I said, recently when I went to Ecuador, that wasn't an issue either. I met a girl off of Tinder. My boy met a girl off of Bumble. Both girls spent the night. There was no, I don't know if I can say that word, but the S word in our system. Everything worked out great. The girl that he met off of Bumble, she ended up staying at our apartment for like 7 days.
Okay.
All right. Cook, clean, just wanted to be with him. So, yeah, you want to, use that advantage if you're able to with online dating and dating apps in certain countries.
Okay. All right. Shout out to Art of Will once again with a 5 super chat. He says, when a modern woman told me she was a dime, I thought she was trying to speak German. All right. Shout out to you, the Art of Will with a 5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, some of the women in America, not all, but some of them definitely have a little bit of an inflated ego. Shout out to
Right.
Carbon Snail
Right.
01 with $10 super chat, man. I really appreciate that.
I appreciate it
QB,
too.
okay, cool, bro. I was getting a notification from you. I wasn't getting a notification from YouTube that you were dropping content. Also, is that mesh treatment shirt you wearing for sale? That's a mesh treatment shirt. Okay, I see you. Yeah, pop that. Hold on. Let me put you on the big screen. Hold on. Let me see. Check you out.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Right. I'm gonna come out with my own merch soon, including like the hats.
Okay.
So I will definitely do that soon, very very soon. But this is a custom made shirt. I appreciate you guys liking it. So that will be coming out soon on my channel, definitely.
Okay, man. You been hitting up Mexico heavy, man. When can we get you to Asia? You've been out here before, right?
No, probably maybe I was supposed to go in April with my cousin, but he wants to go to Colombia, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know
Yeah.
about that. But I'm gonna have some time off at the end of the year, so that's where I'm thinking about doing Asia. I mean, so far it has been limited to Mexico, Guatemala, Ecuador. I've been in Colombia, Peru as well, and I'm thinking about doing Spain at the end of the year on the
Okay.
bucket list. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give a shout out to L Grim with the $10 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says the passport bro movement is killing dating coaches' businesses. It's crazy to me that a man that openly shares his woman is talking about game. Even if you have game, it's not worth wasting time or money in the US. I mean,
Right.
he puts himself out there like that. I don't know why he keep taking shots. I mean, we just doing our thing over here.
Right. And no one's really been talking about him. And for him to have
Or
that
any of them.
over, yeah, for him to have that over 10 video in Miami and you're still preaching game, it's like, bruh. So I will make a response to that. I'll get around to that video shortly.
Shout out to Jumpman with the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. He says this guy's live now And your man, people asking if Pat living abroad legal, just letting you know. Okay, yeah, I seen that. I ain't worried about that. But shout out to you, Jump Man, with the $5 super chat.
Oh, and speaking of that, really quick, I know the last live stream with Razor Ray regarding Casanova guy. You kind of remember that a little bit or no?
I caught a little bit of it. I don't, but shout out to Razor Rays though.
Yeah, really quick, you had asked the question like, how come Mexico's done on the Big Four, and I kind of gave the whole reasoning. But I found out some other stuff that I'm probably gonna have to talk to you behind the scenes regarding that dude.
Oh yeah. Hey man, you definitely gonna have. That's the thing about being on the internet, man. You definitely gonna get some people that hate, and they'll say anything for views.
Right.
They'll definitely say anything for views, man. But we're not even focused on that. Like I said, most of the time. I like to respond because I almost feel like with the dating coaches, it's like they know that they're losing a little bit of market share. It's like a battle of the minds of the young and impressionable guys. It's like, listen, bro, if you want to go that route, that's fine. We're not even saying because you're your own man. You do what you want to do. All we're doing is showing you our lifestyle. We're showing you receipts of saying, hey, man, it is a global dating market now. Things have changed. That's why you're getting so much pushback from it. And it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing, especially for the men.
Right. Like for one, and I'm happy you brought that up. Look at Floyd, okay? Now, I know some brothers have been clowning him, oh, he's goofy, this and that. That dude is happy in Asia. I highly doubt a Becky, a Keisha, a Sharon, a Chong Li or whatever would have given him any chance here in the States. That brother got a passport, and I don't care what type of women he is dating in Asia. He's dating women in Asia that want to be with him. That's the big difference. He could have wasted money on a dating coach or a course and cold approach and went to somebody's boot camp or seminar and got nothing out of it. He made a conscious decision and said, you know what? I like what Austin Hollerman's doing. Shout out to him. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to go out there and see what type of results that I can get in terms of dating the local women. And he did it. And as Passport Bros, all we're saying is, look, again, I even referenced this on my channel. You can go try the game stuff. You can be red pill. You can do the whole pickup. If it don't work, then come join our team, okay? You're guaranteed going to be a winner, and you're going to say, you know what? I should have done this a long time ago.
A good point. You know what? I almost admire these younger guys that got their passports and they're traveling like in their early 20s. I'm just like, bro, I wish I would have known. I had my passport at like 23 myself, but I wasn't traveling like that, But I'm like, bro, you got the cheat code early. You got on up out of there. And there's so many, the ability for them to make money in so many different ways because of the internet, because of technology, is something that we didn't have access to in the late 90s and early 2000s like that, right? Like we had to actually go get in the car, go to the job, work a salary or work a wage. But now you got guys or kids that's been on the internet. They get on the internet at 14, 15, 16. And by the time they're 23, they got 100,000 subscribers, So they never have to even have a job like we did, So shout out to them. Go ahead, bro.
And what I want to add to that is like the amount of freedom that you have being a passport bro or a brother that travels with a passport, the sky is the limit. Okay, you can go to this country, you can go to Asia, you can go to South America, you can go to Europe. Like nothing is stopping you.
You can go to Africa.
Africa, yes, you're absolutely right. Why not have that option at any given moment? Like it's crazy, especially in these times. Our dating market, our laws here in the United States is good to always have that option.
Including the biggest thing that I think gets overlooked the most is the inflation that's going on in America. If you're keeping up with the rise in cost of living, banks closing down, people deposits being held, savings accounts being held. There's a lot of stuff going on. You have to be able to move around a little bit nowadays, man. You know, you
Facts.
can make money online. You can do something in tech, or you can get whatever benefits you get from the military, and you can live a pretty decent life for under $40,000 a year. And that's not people trying to act like they're rich overseas, but
Right.
that's a vantage point that you have about being an American citizen, bro. You can
Right.
rent in the States and then maybe have properties overseas.
Right. And one more thing I want to add, because of, the whole COVID situation, men are able to work remote. Okay. So you don't need this extravagant amount of money. If you want to live a frugal life and you say, you know what, I'm cool with making only 50K, but I can still live good and better in this country compared to 50K in the United States, and I can work remote. Guys may want to do that. And we're saying, look, you have the option to do that. So again, it comes down to what situation is going to work best for you, short term and also in the long term as well.
Good point, man. I want to give a shout out once again to the Art of Will. He says the dude's avatar looks like a Rescue Rangers reject. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Appreciate that, Art of Will. We got my dude Global Passport Crew in the building with $10 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He's very familiar with the Middle East. You guys can check out his channel, Global Passport Crew. He said, just sub the QB channel. Dating coaches are a joke. Their argument makes zero sense, and they are just because they are scared to be successful, like the Passport Bros. Very true, man. Shout out to you. Now, this is a good question.
By the way,
we can both answer this if you want. By Highlander 2016 with $1.99 super chat. He says, which Latin countries would you avoid traveling to? That's a good one. That's a good one.
That is a good one. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
It's hard, man, because I'm not gonna say because I haven't been to Mexico, right? But I wouldn't say avoid Mexico. I've been to Peru, but Peru was okay. I can't really tell you offhand which countries to avoid, maybe which areas to avoid. Maybe don't go in certain areas in these particular countries. But there's no country I can just typically point out because there's a lot of countries in South America, and I've only been to a few.
Right. So I think for me, and again, there's ways to get around it, but you have to be very, very careful, I feel, in Medellin. Okay. I probably wouldn't recommend that place for a first-time traveler. If you're experienced, you know how to move, and you know some people down there, that's cool. When it comes to Mexico, we just kind of talked about this earlier. Do not hit the border towns. I will tell you again, no for Matamoros, no for Reynosa, no for Juarez, and no for Nuevo Laredo. Those places you do not go to. Everywhere else in Mexico, you're good. And obviously stay in decent places. Don't stay in a HUD. Don't stay in a barrio where it's dangerous, okay? Use that type of common sense. And for places that are not really well lit, you want to avoid those areas as well. Other than that, I think any and everywhere in Latin America, you'll be fine.
Somebody said Venezuela. It's funny because I know a ton of Venezuelans. I actually have more Venezuelan friends than I do Colombian friends out there in Medellin. And I've been invited to Venezuela a lot. But it is dangerous.
We need a visa to go there to Venezuela. Right.
Yeah. Right. So if I was to go to Venezuela, it'd definitely be with somebody. It'd be with a Venezuelan that's familiar and know how to move. If I was to go, because I see Aces Live does some content down there.
Yes, and the beaches look beautiful over there.
Man, really I was dating a Venezuelan girl when I was living in Medellin, and she used to just show me because they love Venezuela. They just hate that the stabilization of the government and all that stuff, and the financial breakdown over there. But Venezuelans typically love Venezuela, and then she would show me all these videos of the beaches and all these different cities, and you're right, it's beautiful.
Right, definitely. I would like to go to Venezuela one day, but I think I'm gonna have to be like you. I gotta go somebody that either has family there or knows how to move up there.
Yeah, it's extremely important. Extremely important. I want to give a shout out to the Fresh Prince of Poblado. That's my man's over there. Shout out to you, $10 super chat. I actually met him down in Medellin. He said I had my best travel experience in the last 2 years in Mexico, Tijuana.
Nice, nice. And like I said, for you guys that are curious about Tijuana, spring break is going down in Rosarito. Look at Papas and Beer on Instagram. Quavo and Little John is going to be there next weekend. And then also you want to hit summertime down there as well. It is lit. Lots of women on the beach, good times. It's going to be safe. Use common sense, okay? My bad. Use common sense. Don't drink in public, okay? Don't wear excessive jewelry. Don't be a mark for the police. Don't piss in public. As long as you do those things, you're going to have a great time in Tijuana and pretty much the rest of Mexico.
Good point. Fresh Prince of Poblado says Black Venezuelan women are the best. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They pretty laid back, man. You know, Venezuelan women, they good to connect with. I would say that they pretty down. They pretty humble and down to earth. You know, it's funny because, man, they have a very unique look. They're very beautiful.
Yes.
And they're very humble, cool, laid back. And it's like with them, it's very similar to our I'll put it to you that way. Like it's like not plug and play, but you in one step with each other with the food. And they cook some really good food too, by the way. And they would consider to be, from most of the Venezuelans I know they would consider to be on the app. Some of them would consider to be on the Afro look, basically. Afro Latina.
You have the Afro Latina, and then you also have like the Moreno look with the Venezuelan women, which is like the brown skin type of like Hispanics and Latinos. Mm-hmm. One thing, you know, when it comes to the body, the symmetry is just like on point. Again, I love Mexico, I love Colombia and all these other countries, but it's either like you're more of the Eurocentric type. I feel Venezuelan is right in the middle. You know, you can have Afro, okay, but you have like that more Moreno indigenous look too, which is very, very exotic and sexy. And I only tend to see that mainly from Venezuelan women compared to other Latin American countries and their population of women.
Yeah, that whole Caribbean coastline over there, the costeños and all that Dominican flavor, that Caribbean, oh man, it's something else, man. It is something else, bro. And they be humble too. That's the crazy part. And they can cook. I want to give a shout out to Ed Travels. He says, great content, guys. Loving the convo. Shout out to Ed Travels, man. He put me on to Cambodia. Love Cambodia. Shout out to you, Ed Travels. We got to do a show real soon, man. You know, Southeast Asia got some exotic women of the browner complexion too. You'll be surprised, man. Shout out to the Art of Will. This question is for you, QB, with the $5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He asked, would you buy land in Mexico, even though it can't be no less than 31 miles from the coast for expats? Can you explain that to us?
Yeah, so in Mexico, for expats, you cannot buy 31 miles within the border, nor you can buy, I think it's 5 miles from the coast. So you're kind of limited. However, there's always rules around it. If you buy within an LLC, so limited liability corporation, you can buy property anywhere in Mexico. But let's just say if I didn't want to do that and I wanted to buy something in Mexico, but it's going to, you know, I'm just going to go through the restrictions. Well, Mexico City, Guadalajara, Monterrey, if you buy in certain areas of those places, you can still be very profitable if you wanted to buy the property as an investment as well.
Okay.
But the beach is where it's at. And so, you know, hopefully within 5 years, that's kind of my goal. I do something like that in Mexico, and all my subs, the BMT subs, you guys come to the Airbnb, get you a little discount. I would love to do that. So that is definitely one of my future goals.
Excellent. I got Cigar Music in the building. He says Black Venezuelans versus Black Colombians, which you like more? Both of them pretty. That's a great question, man. Both of them are pretty nice. Let's just say,
Right.
physically and mentally.
Right.
I love Afro Latinos in general, man. I think that's the majority of what most men date would be,
Right.
Afro Latinos for the most part, from what I can tell.
Right. Definitely. I need to get my Afro Latina chocolate up, but from what I've seen, especially in Ecuador, they got them out there too. So,
there's a huge population of Afro people in South America in general, all over South America, places you wouldn't even know. Shout out to Ace, man. Ace be actually going around South America covering it. And they had a large population in southern Mexico as well, right?
Yes, and kind of no. There is a town in the state of Guerrero, which is near Acapulco, but it's a small Afro town. Eventually, I will get out there, but there's really nothing there. And for most of Mexico, you're not going to really see, outside of the Acapulco area, which is in Guerrero, there's not too many Afro-Mex in Mexico. Very little, compared to other places in Latin America. But I did see some nice ones in Acapulco. They got them out there for sure.
Okay. Shout out to Fresh Prince of Poblado once again. He says Black Venezuelans. That's who he's rocking with. Shout out to my dude Jay Clyde is in the building. He's one of the other guys I interviewed early on. Probably when I had like 300 subs or something. I was doing interviews of guys that were traveling. I got another one here too. Who's the other one? Who we got? Okay, we got Nomadic Ninja. This is for you, QB, and I'm gonna go ahead and end the show.
Yes.
He says QB need a tour service. I would pay to go with you, bro. Do you have some form of
Yes, I do. So we're gonna put the channel link soon in the stream. But look, I have an email, qbpassportflexing@gmail.com. Send me an email. I'm also on Instagram at QBWillieB_. Send me a message. Okay. If you like what you're seeing on this stream, I was one of the first guys BMT actually interviewed. Go check out that Guadalajara stream. That was epic stream. Go check that out. You'll see what Mexico has to offer. QB Passport Flexing.
Oh, it's gmail.com. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. And then you can do the Instagram. And then obviously my channel. So yes, I do offer tours. I do also offer consultation. So we can do a one-on-one, either FaceTime, Instagram call, Zoom, or an actual phone call. And I will let you know about Mexico. 2 guys have taken a tour, and one guy went with me in Rosarito, had a great time. I have content on that. And then the homie Johnny Tepp, he also took a tour to Veracruz with me, and he also had an awesome time. So, yeah, definitely. Check me out if you're interested.
Okay, man. Well, once again, bro, this is an epic show. Appreciate you coming on, give us that information about Mexico and your thoughts on what happened, bro. Appreciate you coming on.
Okay, no doubt.
All right, peace.